Welcome back to the PlayStation Culture Rapid Fire, where we talk about little big PlayStation news. Today we got 6 topics to talk about, and I will just go over briefly the topics that we're going to be talking about. Horizon Zero Dawn got a patch. We got some information for Horizon Forbidden West. More information on Death Stranding. SiFu just got some more information. And we have some little bits of information about Little Nightmares, Psychonauts, and we have some more info regarding Demon Slayer for those who are interested in that game. So to kick this off, we are going to jump into the first topic being Horizon Forbidden West, being the case being that Horizon has officially been announced. The release date for Horizon Forbidden West has officially been announced for February the 18th of 2022. So that does officially mean that the game has in fact been delayed. But I mean, I think it's going to be worth it because I think the game is already, kind of shaping up to be. There's a lot of new stuff that they're doing in the game. So I say, just kind of let it do as it does. And as far as Horizon Zero Dawn, I know a lot of people love that game. That was one of the most beloved games that came out on PS4 last generation. That finally has a 60 FPS patch. Finally, for those who have been waiting, like myself. Unlike Josh, he's not a big fan, but real fans have been waiting.
Only fans.
Only fans have been waiting. Yeah, I mean, I could tell you a little bit about my experience with it. I know Josh, you played it around with it a little bit. What were your thoughts about the game so far with the 60 FPS patch?
Well, let me actually double back with the whole Forbidden West situation. A lot of people, I don't, it's funny when I was on social media, it wasn't that much disappointment. I think they'd set a really good expectation. So they kind of, they've been told us that it may release, it may not release this year. And really, you're splitting hairs. What was going to release in November, February? It's like 4 months. You know what I mean? And February is a short ass month, and this year has been flying. So, in terms of what they've been doing, like the progression of the series, I'm actually I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. I know there's been some fanboys, Xbox fanboys on there talking about some. Oh, what has Sony got for a holiday? What's their holiday game? Fist, Kina,
Hey now,
Kana.
hey now.
Hey now, you're right. No, but like we already have games. We have Ghosts. We're eating. Don't worry about us. You play your what do you call it again? Flight simulator. you got you got a whole world to explore, right? Going on to um uh Zero Dawn. There were some patch notes in there actually. It was actually they said they fixed the streaming and backwards compatibility mode, and obviously it works at 60 frames a second. So unlike Ghost of Tsushima, the cutscenes are 60 frames, and it's weird. I don't know if you've seen the cutscenes. I went straight for the cutscenes to see what it would look like and see if the voice sync, but lip sync will go in there. Turns out it's to see that game running at 60 frames a second is the equivalent of seeing something in 3D. It looks really, it pops. It's really strange. I don't know how to really. I don't really care if it's 60, but now that it's here, I was like, oh shit. So that's my take on it, at least.
Yeah, I messed around with it a little bit, man. It runs beautifully. As normal, the game looks incredible. So, um, I
Per
mean, I'm
usual.
actually the usual. I did want to say something about Forbidden West. There are a lot of changes that they're making to the game itself. I think there are going to be a lot of changes that are probably like internal for the game. So I can understand, some of the delays for the game more than likely, but that I mean, just I don't think a lot of the stuff that's going on with that game is being displayed. You know, I think a lot of the enhancements are going to show like in the mechanics of the game. um some of the information that we came out with before, like the workbench and all of that other stuff. So but that's pretty much all I had to say about it.
Okay. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff. But going on to the next topic, we are talking about Death Stranding. Death Stranding just got a new trailer today, which I watched it today, and it looked incredible. They had a lot of they had a lot of information for that new update, which I was actually pretty impressed with. So I'm gonna go through some of it here. There's a performance mode with a 4K 60 FPS. There's also a fidelity mode, which is obviously native 4K and 30 FPS for those who don't know. Haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, so the DualSense configurations and all of that stuff. The load times are drastically improved due to the implementation of the SSD. We also have implementation.
SSD. I'm sorry, you can't
Yep,
just say that.
SSD. Yep. So they had a lot. They apparently are improving the load speeds with the SSD. There's 3D audio implementation, ultra-wide support, which I thought was pretty interesting. And yo, they added a whole bunch of new like game modes. Like they gave you access to like a shooting range. They gave you what was it, like a racetrack where you can actually compare your results with other players in the world. They gave you a motherfucking catapult, dude. Like where they gave you a whole bunch of new items, like a catapult where you can sling your
Your
you
dick.
could, yep, you could sling your dick. Yep. Yep. They gave you like a jet booster where you could jump from like higher locations and like land safely, things like that. I thought that was pretty cool. They also gave you this little bot, which was actually in the base game, but you didn't have any control over it. You can only like send it out to like recon missions or whatever the case is, right? You would send it off to give deliveries and stuff like that. So you actually have more functionality with the robot, which is pretty cool. Um, yeah, and I believe that was it for the most part. But they added a lot of new stuff in the game.
There's
Oh,
just
new missions and cutscenes and bosses and all that type of shit. So
there's a lot. There's just a lot. Is way too much to talk about on this one. But I will say it is telling that um, Horizon Zero Dawn can't get like a native 4K. And this game can. It's kind of showing that there's a lot more going on behind the scenes in Horizon than this game, which is probably one of the reasons why it got 60 frames first. In terms of some of the things that I wanted to talk about, if the adaptive triggers and haptic feedback is anything like Ghost of Tsushima, that's fucking wicked. I was like, what the hell? Like the controls were like a ball headed on a PS4. So, inside joke. So, that being said, though, one of the things that they had in the trailer is they had like this stealth mission. It kind of reminded me of the old school Metal Gear Solid where you have like these little mock missions and stuff like that. It was like on PS1, I believe, in PS2, like way back in the day. So remind me of that. They give you like scenarios that you can work with, which is pretty cool. But what pissed me off is because Metal Gear Solid actually is a stealth game, and shadows would actually make you it would blow your cover. So they had this one scene where Sam was actually sneaking up on a character, and a shadow like was draped over the enemy and the front of the enemy, and he didn't react to it. I was like, "Fuck!" I was like, "Son of a bitch!" But everything that they had in there, it is a new genre and stuff like that, and it isn't really quite stealth either. It's just $10, honestly, and I want to go back in there and play the game, if not only to hear the soundtrack again. I actually like the whole
we're under the
soothing.
whole director's edition.
It's just $10. You know what I mean? It's a lot of content, but that's what I basically got to say. Speaking of new experiences, SiFu, it has a release date. We were, I don't know if you remember this, but when they announced that it was the first delay, they smoothly announced it too. Those little slick bastards. But they did give us a release date. So it's February 22nd. So only like 4 days after Horizon Forbidden West. So Sony seemingly wants to create the synergy together. You know what I mean? So I don't think it will cannibalize on anything, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Now,
and I think it'll set the tone for the year as well for
yes,
2022.
because we do know that God of War is coming out later in 2022 as well. So That's already like OP 2022. We're probably gonna need it because there's been rumblings about COVID 22. So hey, so how excited are you on a scale of 1 to 5 about SiFu?
SiFu, man. Yo, honestly, I think that's a sleeper hit, man. I think it looks incredible, man. And I think we've talked about it before, but I like the mechanic where, when you die, you come back older. Um, but I don't think you get like, I don't think you
Weaker?
get stronger. Yeah, like you don't get weaker. Yeah, that's what it was.
We don't
But
know, do we? Was that confirmed?
yeah, yeah, that was confirmed. It was one of them. It was either you don't get stronger or you don't get weaker. It was something like that. But either way, I think the game looks incredible. It's definitely a higher quality indie game, like one of the higher quality ones. So I can't wait to play it. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, it's going to be copped. Point blank. Period. Another game that I'm keeping a close eye on is actually Little Nightmares 2. So obviously it's a multi-platform game, but we are getting a next generation update, and some of the stuff that they have in there, such as but by the way, if you don't know what it is, it's kind of like, you remember Limbo on the PS3 and Xbox 360. It's a lot similar to that, but without the fucking black and white art style. It's really interesting in terms of the art style. And it looks like there's more going on. It's not just 2D. There's some isometric walking into the environment type shit going on. But they got a pretty comprehensive next generation patch going on. You got ray tracing reflections at 60 frames per second, 60 pips. It's 4K. You got biometric shadows. You got higher particle density and 3D sound. It's free 3D sound, so you don't have to pay for Adobe or anything like that. Courtesy of Sony. Thank you so much for that, Mark Cerny. I mean, it's out now. Was this on your radar at all, Ken?
Yeah, actually it was. And the first one as well. I thought the game looked interesting when I first saw it. The first one. I never got around to playing it. Not yet anyway. I got a lot on my backlog, but that's definitely one that I'm going to visit. I'm going to play the first one before I jump into the second one. Um, and then, once I do that, I'll jump into the second one and play that one. But yes, I think the game looks awesome. It's very unique. I like those style games personally. It feels like a different sort of experience, I guess you could say. And I like that. I like different experiences. So yeah,
I'm not a big
definitely.
2D, and I'm not a big 2D fan. But for some reason, this is kind of striking a chord with me. So we only got like what 2 minutes left here. What else we got on the table, Ken?
So we apparently Psychonauts 2 just came out today. For those who are fans of the franchise and the series, um, Psychonauts is, if you don't know, it's just a cinematic action adventure platformer. Like I said, it just came out today.
Oh, the
Unfortunately,
cinematic. I don't know about that.
that's how they marketed the game.
Okay, go on. Whatever.
But unfortunately, there's only a PS4 version of the game.
I wonder why.
Um, who knows? But
No, no.
yeah, no. But yep, there is no native PS5 version. You can still play it on the PS5, but it's going to be via backwards compatibility, which means that there are going to be some sort of kind of things held back. But for those who are playing it on the PS4, the game runs at 1440p, 60 FPS on the Pro. It runs at, I believe, no, I'm sorry. I think it's no 1080p, 30 on the base PS4, 1440p, 30 on the PS4 Pro, and it runs at 1440p, 60 FPS on the PS5 via backwards compatibility. No DualSense support, no triggers, nothing. No PS5 enhancements. Um,
Really leveling the playing field, aren't they?
yeah, no implementation for the SSD, nothing. Um,
SSD.
but I mean, the game is still obviously the same game. You do get that performance, but other than that, the game has been being reviewed pretty well. I mean, there's a lot of great reception for the game. So if you're really into those style games, which personally I am, I love those type of platformers, then I would definitely say check it out. And like I said, it just came out today, so hell yeah.
Honestly,
But
I think I'm more interested in this game than I was with I think I'll enjoy this game more than Ratchet and Clank. I know it's controversial, but maybe later on I'll say why I feel that way. Well, so what else we got
Yeah,
there
I don't
before we
I
close
don't
this
blame
up?
you. Don't blame you at all. So the last bit of information that we have today is about Demon Slayer, which if you don't know, Demon Slayer is a very popular anime now. And they officially have a release date for the game, which is October 13th. It's coming to both PS4 and PS5. And yeah, I mean, it's just an action adventure fighting game. I believe that there are some multiplayer elements to the game where you can play online with other players. Obviously, you can play the game offline if you want to, but it does have, it's like little enhancements with the PS5 and stuff like that. But there's not really too much to say about that one. I mean, if you're interested in that genre, that franchise, then I would say definitely check it out. I'm probably gonna check it out. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but definitely interesting nonetheless. What about you?
Um, we don't know too much about the game. I think you mentioned that it's from the makers of possibly from the makers of the Naruto games on PS3 and 4. And if that's the case, then I'm pretty interested in it. I may not pick it up. There's just too many games. I will say though, I will say that one of the reasons why I didn't like the Naruto games is that you already know the lore, and these guys were really fucking powerful. So the have Naruto fight up against somebody that's like basic and have and even the playing field is ridiculous to me. But Demon Slayers, looking at the anime, they all seem to be they're not like apocalyptic powers. You know what I'm saying? So the matchups would be pretty nice. But I'll keep my eye on it for sure.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
that's going to actually close it out. Did you have any? Is there anything else that we're missing?
Nope, that is it.
Listen, I appreciate you guys watching the show and everything like that. We just get better over time. The more we do it, it's really nice. Definitely like how this went. But we'll see you next week, next Thursday, and deuces.
Brega, brega.